Chosen one, if you've found your way to these words, believe me when I say it is no accident. Deep in your spirit, you already know something is shifting. Maybe you've felt stuck for weeks, months, or even years, wondering if your finances would ever catch up to the dreams and desires stirring in your heart. You might be asking yourself, when is my breakthrough going to come? When will I finally see the fruit of my labor and the blessing I sense is meant for me? Let me assure you, your financial miracle is closer than you think. In fact, you might be just one act of faith, one decision, one open door away from the abundance that has your name on it. Before we dive deeper, I want you to do 3 quick things. Hit that like button, subscribe, and comment 777 below. By typing 777, you're signaling both to yourself and to the universe that you are ready. You're saying, I believe there's more for me, and I'm stepping into alignment with that reality. It might feel like a small action, but trust me, small actions can lead to massive shifts when they are fueled by intention. If you're truly a chosen one, someone who feels this message resonating in your soul, I encourage you to stay until the end. Because if you do, you'll discover that everything you've been praying for, working for, and hoping for is so much nearer than your present circumstances might suggest. Let's talk about that feeling of being stuck. You look at your bank account, your bills, your obligations, and you wonder how you'll ever break free from the cycle. But deep down you sense a higher truth, that there's a plan greater than your current struggles, a plan in which you prosper, thrive, and fulfill a purpose far beyond just making ends meet. If that resonates, then you're already on the path to a financial miracle. Why? Because miracles often start with a sense of divine discontent, a stirring in the soul that says, there has to be more than this. That stirring is your spirit awakening to the possibility of abundance. Some of you might be thinking, I've been waiting so long, maybe it's not meant for me. But let me remind you, timing is everything. There are seasons in our lives, seasons of sowing, seasons of growth beneath the surface, and finally seasons of reaping the harvest. Just because you haven't seen the fruit yet, doesn't mean the seeds you planted weren't good. It could be that the roots are going deeper, preparing you to sustain the abundance that's coming. Your financial miracle is not denied. It might simply be delayed until you're fully ready to receive and steward it. Think about how gold is refined. It's put through intense heat, melting away the impurities, leaving only the precious metal behind. Sometimes your financial waiting season feels like being in the fire. Pressures mount, doubts creep in, and you wonder if you'll ever emerge. But if you hold on, if you keep your faith, that fiery process can refine not just your finances, but your character. You learn how to handle money responsibly, how to empathize with others in need, how to appreciate every blessing. Then, when your miracle arrives, you won't squander it. You'll multiply it, share it, and create a lasting impact. Chosen one, I can almost hear the question swirling in your mind. Am I doing enough? Should I be working harder? Maybe I missed the opportunity God was trying to give me. We've all been there, second-guessing ourselves. But the truth is, it's often not about doing more. Sometimes it's about believing more, stretching your faith beyond what looks possible in the natural. Faith is the currency of the spiritual realm. It's the substance that bridges the gap between your earthly reality and your divine inheritance. Remember, a financial miracle doesn't always come in the form of a lottery win or a sudden windfall. It can be a new idea that sparks a side hustle, a business opportunity that comes out of nowhere, or an unexpected promotion at work. It can be a supernatural cancellation of debt, a timely inheritance, or a creative solution you never even considered. The key is to remain open. If you fixate on one specific way for the miracle to appear, you might miss the countless other ways it can actually show up. Keep your eyes and your heart open, expecting the unexpected. Why do I keep saying you're chosen? because you didn't stumble upon this message by chance. Your soul is drawn to words like these because there's a seed of greatness in you that refuses to die. You might have tried to ignore it, to silence it with logic or self-doubt. But here it is again, reminding you that you are more than your failures, more than your setbacks, more than your current bank balance. You are destined to rise above limitations. That's what it means to be chosen. You have a calling, a purpose, and a future that transcends whatever your circumstances are screaming at you. Now, I want you to take a moment and imagine what it would feel like to no longer stress about money. Envision being able to pay your bills without anxiety, to bless others freely because your cup overflows, to invest in your dreams without worrying if you'll make ends meet. That sense of peace, of security, of confidence. It's not a pipe dream. It's a preview of the life that's available to those who dare to believe that a higher power is at work on their behalf. And yes, it will require your participation, but it begins with a shift in your mindset. Speaking of mindset, let's talk about that for a second. Too often, we sabotage our own blessings by harboring limiting beliefs. Money is evil. I'll never get out of debt. It's too late for me. Those beliefs act like fences around your spirit, preventing the flow of prosperity from entering. To experience a financial miracle, you must challenge those beliefs. Money itself is neutral. It's a resource that magnifies what's already in your heart. If you have integrity, generosity, and love, money will amplify that. If you're fearful or greedy, it'll amplify that instead. So let go of the notion that money is inherently bad. Embrace the idea that wealth, when handled wisely, can be a force for immense good. Chosen one, comment 777 below if you're ready to break free from limiting beliefs and step into a life of supernatural provision. That comment isn't just for me, it's for you. It's your declaration that you refuse to stay stuck. It's a signal that you're opening yourself up to guidance, blessings, and opportunities that align with your highest purpose. By taking that step, you're aligning your words with your intention, and in doing so, you activate a powerful spiritual principle. Speak it, believe it, and watch the universe rearrange itself to match your faith. Let's also talk about gratitude. If you can't be grateful for what you have now, you won't be ready for what's next. Gratitude is a magnet for miracles. When you focus on the blessings you already possess, no matter how small or insignificant they may seem, you shift your perspective from lack to abundance. This doesn't mean you ignore real problems, but it does mean you don't let them dominate your view. And as you cultivate that grateful spirit, you open the floodgates for more to flow into your life. Gratitude says to the universe, I see and appreciate what you've done so far, and I'm ready for the next step. Sometimes the catalyst for a financial miracle is hidden in an act of generosity. You might be thinking, how can I give when I can barely cover my own needs? But generosity isn't always about the amount, it's about the heart. When you operate from a place of faith, giving becomes an expression of trust, a statement that says, I believe there is more where this came from. Generosity has a mysterious way of boomeranging back to you, often multiplied. It defies logic, but it aligns with spiritual law. When you hold on to money with a clenched fist out of fear, you block its flow. When you release it in love, you create room for increase. Chosen one, your financial miracle is already on its way. It's being orchestrated behind the scenes in ways you can't fully perceive right now. You may meet the right person at just the right time, stumble upon the right idea in the midst of daily life, or find that doors which were once slammed shut suddenly swing wide open. Don't underestimate the power of a single connection or a single insight to change the entire trajectory of your finances. Often, the turning point is just around the corner, but we give up right before we reach it. Let this be your reminder not to quit. Keep pressing forward. Keep praying, keep sowing seeds of hope and effort. I'm not telling you this path will be without challenges. In fact, the closer you get to your miracle, the more resistance you might feel. That resistance can show up as doubt, fear, or even unexpected setbacks. But every story of triumph includes setbacks. They're the tension in the narrative that makes the eventual victory so much sweeter. Embrace the process, trusting that each challenge is refining you, teaching you lessons that will help you sustain your blessing once it arrives. Because remember, receiving a financial miracle is one thing, keeping and multiplying it is another. Let's address the elephant in the room. Some of you might be dealing with shame or guilt around finances. Maybe you made poor decisions in the past, or you grew up in an environment where money was a constant source of pain and arguments. That emotional baggage can weigh you down, making you feel unworthy of abundance. But hear this, you are not your past, you are not your mistakes. If you're willing to learn, adapt and grow, then your past is just a stepping stone, not a prison sentence. Healing from money wounds might require forgiveness of yourself, of others, maybe even of circumstances you couldn't control. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to new financial blessings. It sets your heart free to receive what's been waiting for you all along. Chosen one, if these words resonate, take a moment and breathe them in. Let them soak into the deepest layers of your being. Feel the possibility stirring in your chest. That excitement, that flicker of hope is not just emotion, it's the beginning of your transformation. Keep feeding it. Surround yourself with uplifting messages. Educate yourself on financial principles. Connect with mentors who've walked the path. Faith without works is dead, so combine your belief in a miracle with practical steps that prepare you for the day it arrives. Sometimes we ask, why me? Why should I be blessed when so many others are struggling? The better question might be, why not me? Being blessed doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you're in a position to do more good. Picture how many people you could help, how many causes you could support, how many lives you could touch if your finances were in overflow. The universe loves a cheerful giver. When your heart's motive is pure, to bless, to uplift, to expand, love and goodness, financial miracles seem to chase you down. Your blessing becomes a channel through which divine love flows out to the world. Chosen one, comment 777. If you're ready to be that channel, let it be your public declaration that you're done playing small, done with letting fear dictate your choices, done with scarcity mindsets that serve no one. You're choosing abundance, not just for your sake, but for the sake of those who need your light. This is a moment of alignment, a moment where heaven and earth converge to shift something in your favor. Don't underestimate the power of such a moment. Let me share a simple yet profound truth. You are not alone in this. You might feel isolated, like no one understands the financial stress you're under, but there is a divine presence that sees your tears, hears your prayers, and knows the desires of your heart. It has guided you to this very point, preparing you with every challenge, every lesson, and every victory along the way. It delights in surprising you with miracles when you least expect them. The question is, can you open your heart to receive? Sometimes receiving is harder than giving. We feel unworthy or suspect that it's too good to be true. But if you've sown seeds, through hard work, through kindness, through perseverance, there's a harvest appointed for you. Don't sabotage it by convincing yourself you don't deserve it. That's like planting a garden and, just before the fruit ripens, walking away in disbelief that it could ever come to fruition. Stay in expectation. Expectation is the breeding ground for miracles. Look back over your life for a moment. Has there ever been a time when a solution came at the 11th hour? When someone offered help right when you had no options left? Or when a seemingly random event opened up a door you didn't even know existed? Those are glimpses of a higher plan at work. Reflect on them. Let them remind you that the same force that helped you then is more than capable of orchestrating a financial breakthrough now. Sometimes we just need a fresh reminder of how far we've already come. Chosen one, I can sense your spirit rising, your hope igniting. That's good. Hold on to it. This is the start of something new for you. This is the moment you'll look back on and say, "That's when I decided to believe again, to hope again, to stand in faith for my financial miracle." You see, everything changes when you shift from doubt to belief. It's like switching on a light in a dark room. You suddenly see possibilities you were blind to just moments before. If you're wondering about next steps, keep it simple. Continue to pray, meditate, or however you connect with the divine. Keep an open mind for creative ideas and be diligent with the finances you currently have. Budgeting, saving, investing, these might sound basic, but they're essential steps that prove you're ready for more. Don't wait until money pours in to start managing it wisely. Show that you can handle little so you can be entrusted with much. Excellence in small matters sets you up for excellence in large ones. Also, watch the words that come out of your mouth. Words have creative power. Stop cursing your own future with phrases like, "I'm always broke," or "I never catch a break." Instead, speak life. "I'm blessed more than I can contain. Opportunities are finding me every day. I am favored and provided for in every situation." It might feel awkward at first if you're not used to speaking positively about your finances, but remember, you're reprogramming your mind to align with abundance, not lack. Chosen one, the gap between your current situation and your financial miracle might be much smaller than you realize. It could be a matter of days, weeks, or just one God-ordained connection away. I'm not saying this to hype you up or give you false hope. I'm saying it because I've seen it happen time and time again in people's lives. Right when they were about to give up, something shifted. All that's required is for you to not abandon your faith, because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. And your miracle? It's there, waiting in the realm of not yet seen, ready to burst into your reality. Don't be tempted to compare your journey to others. Everyone's story is unique, and what works for one person may not work the same way for you. Your miracle is tailor-made, orchestrated by a wisdom that knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Comparison will only breed envy or discouragement. Instead, celebrate others' blessings as proof that abundance is real. If it can happen for them, it can happen for you too. Stay in your lane, keep your heart pure, and focus on your own progress. If fear tries to creep in, fear of failing, fear of succeeding, fear of the unknown, acknowledge it, but don't give it power. Fear is simply a sign that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, which is exactly where miracles manifest. Nothing extraordinary ever happens inside the walls of safety. So embrace the nerves, the butterflies in your stomach. They're telling you you're on the brink of something big, something life-changing. Chosen one, comment 7777 if you're feeling the call to step boldly into this new season of financial miracles. Let that be your rally cry. Because here's the thing, you get to decide whether you'll stay in a mindset of scarcity or dare to believe in a future of abundance. And let me tell you, the moment you decide, truly decide, the universe responds. Opportunities might have been there all along, but your eyes were closed to them. Once you decide, it's like you put on a new set of lenses and suddenly you see doors where you once saw walls. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but I still have real bills and real problems. I hear you. Real faith acknowledges the problem without bowing to it. Yes, the bills are there, the debts are real, but faith says, my circumstances don't get the final say. My destiny does. It looks at the mountains of lack and says, move. And with consistent belief, action, and sometimes just a mustard seed of hope, Those mountains do move. Maybe not overnight, but they do move. Let me remind you, your struggle has a purpose. It's not wasted. You're gaining empathy, wisdom, resilience, and tenacity in this waiting period. You're learning to value and respect the resources that come into your life. You're building the infrastructure of your character so that when your miracle arrives in full, you'll know exactly how to handle it. Because it's one thing to receive a blessing, it's another thing to maintain and grow it. The real measure of wealth is not just how much you accumulate, but how much good you can do and sustain over time. Chosen one, keep your posture expectant. Wake up each day saying, I expect good news today. I expect favor to find me. I expect creative ideas to spark. Live in a state of anticipation, not desperation. Desperation repels opportunities, expectation attracts them. It's a subtle but powerful shift. The more you train yourself to look for the good, the more good you'll find. It's like tuning into a radio station. If you want to hear positivity, you have to dial into that frequency. Also, remember that your financial miracle might look different than what you initially imagined. It could come gradually as a series of smaller breakthroughs that lead to a giant leap, or it might come in a flash, all at once, leaving you breathless. Don't box in the divine by dictating how it must happen. Remain flexible, remain open, and remain grateful at every stage of the journey. Gratitude in the midst of waiting is one of the greatest signs of trust you can show. Chosen one, if your heart is beating faster, if your mind is racing with possibilities, that's a good sign. It means hope is alive. Hope is the precursor to faith, and faith is the pipeline for miracles. Don't let this moment slip away. After this, take a concrete step, even if it's small. Maybe it's creating a budget, applying for a new job, brainstorming a business idea, or simply writing down your financial goals. Make a move that says, I'm ready, and watch how things start to shift. Yes, your financial miracle is closer than you think. Maybe it's closer than the air you're breathing right now. It's not a matter of luck or chance. It's a matter of alignment. Aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with the truth that abundance is your birthright. You were not created to live in perpetual lack. You were created with gifts, talents, and a capacity for influence that require resources to fully manifest. So step into that identity. Own it. Live like you believe it, and soon your reality will match your belief. If you doubt, that's okay. We all have moments of wavering. Just don't pitch your tent in doubt. Pass through it, remind yourself of who you are and whose you are, and keep going. Faith isn't the absence of doubt, it's the choice to move forward in spite of it. Each step forward weakens doubt's hold. Each testimony of progress fortifies your resolve. Chosen one, this is your time. Don't let the naysayers or your own inner critic convince you otherwise. Something is shifting in your favor. The same power that set galaxies in motion has its eyes on you, orchestrating a plan for your prosperity. And prosperity isn't just about you. It's about the lives you'll touch, the dreams you'll fund, the causes you'll champion. That's the bigger picture. Your financial miracle is a piece of a grand puzzle, a puzzle that shapes the destiny of many. So comment 7777, stand in faith and keep pressing on. In the unseen realm, gears are turning, doors are unlocking. Any day now you might wake up and find that everything changed overnight, or you might see a gradual unfolding that looking back is nothing short of miraculous. Either way, trust the process, stay faithful in the small, keep your heart pure, and let your actions reflect your belief that the best is yet to come. I can sense that some of you still have a kernel of skepticism, and that's understandable. You've been disappointed before. You've faced dead ends and closed doors. But consider this. Every closed door that wasn't meant for you is leading you closer to the door that is meant for you. Sometimes rejection is divine protection, guiding you to something better. If you can hold on to that perspective, you'll realize that even the no's in your life have served a higher purpose. Chosen one, your financial miracle is near. Look around with eyes of faith. Look within with a heart of expectancy, and remember, miracles often come disguised as hard work, as opportunities that require your courage, as moments that test your faith. Embrace them all. Say yes to the process, to the growth, to the possibility that your life can look radically different a year from now, or even a month from now, simply because you dared to believe. If you've stayed with me this long, I commend you. It means you're serious, that you're hungry for change, and that you're ready for what's next. Keep feeding that hunger with knowledge, with positive declarations, and with unwavering faith. In due time, you'll see the fruit of your perseverance. And oh, what a glorious day that will be. Now, stay tuned because I'm not finished yet. Let's address the notion of timing more deeply, because that's often where discouragement sets in. You might be wondering, if my financial miracle is so close, why hasn't it happened yet? Sometimes it's not that you're not ready. It's that certain people, places, or situations around you aren't yet aligned for the blessing to fully unfold. Imagine a grand puzzle where each piece must fit perfectly. You're only one piece. Others, potential business partners, mentors, or clients, may still be getting into position so that when your paths intersect, the synergy is unstoppable. In those waiting times, your faith is tested, but it's also fortified. Think of it like preparing for a race. You train, you stretch, you build endurance. You don't hop onto the track unprepared. In the same way, the waiting period refines your discipline, shapes your financial mindset, and deepens your trust. It's not wasted time. It's a setup for a breakthrough, so customized that once it arrives, you'll understand why it didn't come sooner. This understanding often comes in hindsight, when you see how everything had to align just right. Chosen one, keep your heart free from bitterness during this process. Jealousy or envy towards others who've stepped into their miracle will only block the flow meant for you. Instead, celebrate their success as evidence that breakthroughs are real and possible. Let it ignite hope rather than resentment, because guess what? When you finally have your moment, you'll want others to celebrate with you, not look on with suspicion or malice. That sense of community of shared victories can multiply the power of your own miracle. Let's shift to the idea of identity for a moment. If you've grown up hearing phrases like, "we'll always be poor," or "money doesn't grow on trees," those words can become ingrained in your subconscious. They create an identity of lack. But your true identity is that of a co-creator with the divine, capable of attracting and stewarding resources for good. It might take time to peel back those old layers of programming, but it's worth the effort. Each day, affirm that you are worthy of abundance, that you're called to participate in the grand tapestry of blessing. Over time, these affirmations become beliefs, and those beliefs shape your reality. Remember that sometimes a financial miracle doesn't just land in your lap. It comes through the doors of creativity. An idea, a service, a product, a solution that meets a real need. If you're open to inspiration, you'll find yourself generating concepts that could turn into steady streams of income. The world is full of problems waiting for solutions. What if your miracle is wrapped up in providing one of those solutions in a way only you can? Don't underestimate your creativity, your perspective, and your ability to innovate. That might be the key that unlocks everything. Chosen one, I sense some of you have faced ridicule or skepticism for your dreams. People might call you naive, say you're chasing fantasies. But every innovation, every major success story started as a dream someone dared to believe in. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before returning triumphantly. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers. Had they listened to the naysayers, their miraculous successes would have never materialized. Your financial miracle may not be on the scale of building a multinational empire, but it's no less significant to your life's trajectory. So, don't let external voices drown out the inner voice calling you to more. Another angle to consider is that your miracle could be tied to a radical act of faith. Sometimes we're asked to take a step that makes little sense on paper, like investing in a skill, changing career paths abruptly, or moving to a new city. This is not to say you should be reckless. Rather, learn to discern the promptings that resonate deep within you, the ones that won't let you go. They might cause fear to flare up, but fear can be a sign you're on the brink of a monumental shift. Pray, meditate, seek wise counsel, and if your spirit still says go, then take the leap. Such leaps often trigger the miracle you've been longing for. If you're surrounded by negativity, be strategic. You might not be able to escape certain environments immediately, but you can protect your mindset. Fill your spare moments with content that uplifts you, podcasts, books, videos that affirm your capacity for abundance. Join communities or forums where people share testimonies of financial breakthroughs. Hearing their stories can build your faith, showing you real-life examples of how quickly things can turn around. In an age of information overload, you have to guard the gateways of your mind more than ever. Chosen one, comment 777 if you're committing to guarding your mind from toxic influences. Let that comment be your line in the sand. Because negativity isn't just about hearing the wrong words, it's about absorbing the wrong energy. If you constantly soak up doubt, fear, and cynicism, it becomes exponentially harder to believe for a miracle. Make the tough choices if needed, limiting time with certain people or activities that drag you down. You'll be surprised how quickly your energy elevates when you're no longer weighed down by constant pessimism. Now, let's talk about the concept of suddenlies. Sometimes miracles come after a long build-up, but they manifest so quickly it feels like everything changed overnight. That's the nature of a breakthrough. It might look sudden, but the groundwork was laid brick by brick, often in hidden ways. One moment you're facing a wall, the next moment you're through it. It's like the final puzzle piece snaps into place, and the entire picture becomes clear. These suddenlies are part of the divine pattern. The challenge is to stay persistent in the waiting season, so you're there to receive the miracle the moment it arrives. Your miracle might also come through collaboration. Perhaps there's someone out there with complementary skills or resources, and you're meant to partner up. Pride can sometimes keep us isolated, believing we have to do everything alone, but synergy can produce extraordinary results. Keep an open mind about teamwork. When the right people join forces, financial blessings can multiply in ways neither party could achieve on their own. Chosen one, you may be on the verge of discovering that your personal financial miracle is linked to helping others find theirs. That's the beauty of abundance. It's never just about one individual. When you realize that your success can be a conduit for communal uplift, you tap into a richer motivation. Your miracle becomes a beacon of hope for others, a testimony that if it happened for you, it can happen for them too. This transforms your pursuit of wealth into a pursuit of shared prosperity, creating a ripple effect that benefits everyone in your circle of influence. Let's also address the role of discipline. Miracles don't cancel the need for good habits, they complement them. If you receive a large sum of money but lack discipline, it can slip through your fingers faster than it arrived. Use this waiting period to strengthen your financial literacy. Track your expenses, learn about investing, practice living within your means. That way, when your miracle lands, you'll be prepared to maximize it and avoid pitfalls that could send you back into lack. A miracle is not a license for recklessness, it's a door to greater responsibility. I want to touch on the power of your words one more time. Words carry energy, and they frame your world. Confession aligns your spirit, soul, and body with the reality you're claiming. Start declaring, "I am blessed, I am favored, My needs are met, and I have more than enough to be a blessing. Make it part of your daily routine. It might feel unnatural at first, especially if your current situation screams the opposite. But that's exactly why you do it. You're speaking to the mountain of debt, the mountain of limitations, telling it to move. Over time, your words shape your perspective, and your perspective shapes your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. Chosen one, if you haven't typed 777 yet, do it now. This is your moment of claiming the shift, of saying, I refuse to be defined by scarcity any longer. I choose abundance. It might be symbolic, but symbols can be incredibly powerful in the spiritual realm. They act as anchors for your faith, reminders of the moment you decided to believe. Sometimes all it takes is one symbolic gesture to break the inertia and set you on a new course. A common misconception is that miracles are purely supernatural events disconnected from your efforts. In reality, miracles often involve a blend of the divine and the practical. Yes, you need faith. Yes, you might see supernatural doors open, but you also have to walk through them. You have to show up, do the work, keep your commitments. Don't wait on the sidelines for magic to fix everything while you remain passive. Your active participation tells the universe you're serious, that you honor the blessing enough to put in the necessary sweat equity. Think of the farmer. He trusts that the seed will grow. That's faith. But he also tills the soil, waters the seed, and pulls out weeds. That's action. Without both, there's no harvest. Your financial miracle follows the same principle. Plant your seeds. Whether those seeds are job applications, business proposals, creative projects, or personal development, then water them consistently, trusting that growth is happening even if you can't see it yet. Chosen one, your victory might just be a few steps away. Don't let discouragement cause you to retreat. Feelings are fleeting, but decisions can shape your destiny. Decide now that you're pressing on. Decide that you're going to stand your ground until your finances align with the abundant life you know you're meant for. Even if you stumble, get back up. Even if you face a setback, treat it as a setup for a comeback. That's how warriors of faith operate. They refuse to settle, refuse to quit, and refuse to believe that any obstacle is final. Let me encourage you to take inventory of what you do have. Maybe it's not a large bank balance, but you have talents, connections, or experiences that can be leveraged. You might have a supportive friend who believes in you, a mentor willing to guide you, or an audience waiting for your next move. Even if you only have a small patch of ground, you can plant seeds in it. Don't despise the day of small beginnings. It's often in the smallest steps that the biggest miracles find their starting point. Chosen one, I feel compelled to remind you, you are worthy. Sometimes our biggest block isn't external circumstances, but internal shame or feelings of inadequacy. Heal from that. Let it go. You're not defined by your past, your credit score, or your job title. You're defined by a purpose that exceeds all of that. You are chosen to carry a light that can't be extinguished by temporary setbacks. Embrace that identity, and the universe will start responding to the new frequency you emit, one of confidence, expectation, and hope. If you're still with me, I commend you for your endurance. You're demonstrating the very quality that could make all the difference: persistence. This is a preview of how you'll handle adversity in your financial journey, staying the course, listening, absorbing truth, and applying it relentlessly. Your future self will thank you for every moment you spend equipping your mind, heart, and spirit to receive what's coming. Don't be shocked if you begin to see small but significances in the days ahead. Random emails, timely phone calls, or sudden ideas that spark your imagination. Those coincidences are often the breadcrumbs leading you toward your miracle. Pay attention, act on them, and keep your faith engaged. Sometimes a single intuitive nudge can lead to a chain reaction of events that culminates in exactly the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Chosen one, comment 777, if you're declaring that these divine nudges will not be ignored. It's time to shift from passive hoping to active, purposeful living. Every step you take in faith releases a ripple in the spiritual realm, signaling that you are open, willing, and ready. The universe hears that call and begins to orchestrate solutions, introductions, and outcomes you couldn't plan on your own. Let's take a moment to talk about the heart behind your desire for a financial miracle. Yes, it's okay to want relief from stress, to desire comfort, or to wish for a better lifestyle. But consider how you can use that blessing to impact others. The more you frame your finances as a tool for good, the more meaning it carries. It's one thing to want money just for yourself. It's another thing to envision how it can ripple outward, helping family, charities, community projects, or uplifting people in need. That bigger why infuses your financial journey with purpose and often accelerates the manifestation of miracles. Sometimes, the fastest way to your miracle is through service. As counterintuitive as it sounds, helping someone else might unlock the door to your own breakthrough. Maybe you have a skill that can assist a friend, or a kind word that could encourage someone to keep going. You never know who's connected to your future blessing. Perhaps the person you help today becomes the catalyst for your tomorrow. Keeping a heart of service isn't just moral, it's strategic in the spiritual economy. Chosen one, if you're ready to adopt that heart of service, comment 777 one more time. Let it affirm your commitment to be a conduit of blessings, not just a receiver. When you shift your posture to one of giving, even if you feel you have little to give, you align yourself with the law of sowing and reaping. And what you sow, you shall also reap, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Now, as we inch closer to the end of this message, I don't want the momentum to fade. Stay hungry for your miracle. Stay vigilant. Keep your inner ears attuned for the whisper of divine guidance. Sometimes it speaks softly, call this person, try that approach, or wait just a little longer. Obedience to these small nudges can lead to colossal changes. Ignore them and you might miss the very window of opportunity that was designed for you. Chosen one, yes. Your financial miracle is closer than you think, closer than the doubt haunting you, closer than the fear that's been gripping your chest. It's as close as your faith and your willingness to take action. At any moment, the tide can turn, just as a flower bursts through the soil after a long winter. Your breakthrough can emerge from what you thought was barren ground, and when it does, it won't just bless you, it'll inspire those around you, proving once again that the impossible is possible. So hold your head high, keep speaking life over your finances, keep sowing seeds of effort, faith, and generosity. Keep an attitude of gratitude that refuses to budge no matter what storms come. The greatest testimonies often arise from the greatest trials, and your story could become the beacon that lights someone else's way. This is bigger than you. It's about a tapestry of interconnected destinies, all weaving together to reveal the glory of a plan far beyond human comprehension. Chosen one, you have what it takes. You're stronger than you realize, richer in spirit than you know, and far more beloved than you've ever dared to believe. Embrace that truth, and let it become the foundation upon which your financial miracle stands. Because a miracle without a strong foundation can topple under pressure. But when built on faith, integrity, and love, it becomes unshakable and enduring. I trust you feel the shift happening already. Keep that flame alive, and whenever doubt tries to creep back in, return to these words, re-anchor in the promise, and reaffirm your position as a chosen vessel for divine abundance. This journey might have twists and turns, but rest assured, every step is leading you closer to the miracle with your name on it. Now, if you're still with me, we haven't reached the final conclusion yet. Chosen one, I sense a divine stirring deep within your soul right now. You might be feeling a mixture of excitement and trepidation, wondering if this is truly possible, that your life could shift so dramatically and perhaps so soon. Let me assure you, the seeds of your financial miracle have already been planted. Everything you've endured, every lesson learned, every prayer whispered, and every tear shed has been watering those seeds. This waiting season, however long it's felt, is not a denial, it's preparation. When a plant finally breaks through the soil and flourishes, we see only the result. But underground, unseen, a complex network of roots was forming all along. Maybe you've wrestled with thoughts like, I'm too old, I've messed up too many times, or I've missed my window of opportunity. Please hear me. If you still have breath in your body, it's not too late. The source that orchestrates new beginnings is not limited by age, failures, or missed chances. Each sunrise testifies that you have another day, another shot, another blank page to write on. Let that sink in. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are alive for a reason, and that reason includes abundance. Abundance of resources, opportunities, and especially a heart posture that thrives in gratitude. Chosen one, comment 777 if you haven't yet. Especially if you're shaking off the lie that your time has passed. By commenting, you're declaring that your best days are not behind you, they're still ahead. You're basically telling the universe, I'm here, I'm open, and I'm ready for the next move. Trust me, that shift in mindset alone can begin to reroute opportunities in your direction. Now, let's address the importance of discerning seasons. Sometimes you're in a season of sowing, working diligently, refining skills, building relationships. In that season, the harvest isn't immediate, and that's okay. Other times you shift into a season of reaping, new job offers, unexpected checks, promotions, or profitable business ventures spring forth. Embrace whichever season you're in without resentment. The farmer doesn't curse the seed planting season just because he has no fruit yet. He knows that the fruitless phase is critical for future abundance. That same principle applies to your financial journey. If you're currently feeling the weight of financial strain, don't ignore the practical steps that can ease your load. Talk to a financial advisor, create a budget, cut unnecessary expenses, or find a side hustle. Practical wisdom goes hand in hand with spiritual expectation. Faith doesn't mean neglecting common sense. It means believing for the extraordinary while stewarding the ordinary well. It's about living with hope in your heart, but also clarity in your plans. Chosen one, the synergy of faith and action is unstoppable. When you combine unwavering belief with consistent movement, you become like a magnet for miracles. You signal to the divine realm, I'm not just wishing, I'm preparing, and prepared vessels are the first to receive the outpouring when it comes. Think of it like a downpour of rain. If you have a vessel ready, you'll collect water. If you don't, the rain just washes away. Your readiness is the vessel. For some of you, your financial miracle may hinge on healing emotional wounds tied to money, feelings of shame, fear, or unworthiness that you picked up along the way. Perhaps someone once told you that you'd never amount to anything financially. Or maybe you witnessed financial chaos growing up, and it scarred your view of money. Now is the time to let those wounds surface and heal, because they can act like invisible ceilings on your prosperity. Forgive whoever planted those seeds of negativity, and forgive yourself if you internalized them. Freedom in this area can open floodgates of blessings you didn't realize were blocked. Chosen one, keep in mind that your journey is unique. Avoid the trap of trying to mimic someone else's path. Their miracle might have come through a certain business model, an investment, or a random act of favor. That doesn't mean yours will unfold the same way. The divine has an infinite repertoire of methods. Instead of chasing someone else's formula, chase alignment with your own gifts, your own calling, and your own promptings. Authenticity draws the right people and opportunities to you faster than pretending to be something you're not. Let's also remember that wealth is about more than just money. True prosperity includes healthy relationships, peace of mind, and a sense of fulfillment. If you gain material riches but lose your soul's joy, that's not a miracle. That's a hollow victory. So, as you anticipate a financial breakthrough, also set your intention on wholeness. Ask yourself, how can my growing resources nurture my spiritual, emotional, and relational well-being? How can I use my blessings to contribute positively to the world around me? When you hold that perspective, wealth becomes a tool for building, healing, and uplifting, rather than a source of stress or corruption. Chosen one, comment 7777 if you resonate with the vision of holistic abundance. By doing so, you're clarifying your intention that your financial miracle will serve a greater purpose. In a universe governed by spiritual laws, that kind of clear, generous intention often accelerates manifestation. Why? Because it aligns with the very nature of the source that loves to see people blessed, but not at the cost of their integrity or humanity. If you're tempted to slip into impatience, remind yourself that no season lasts forever. Just as winter eventually yields to spring, your season of lack or tight finances will yield to a season of overflow, provided you remain faithful and open. Patience isn't passive, it's the active decision to trust the process. It's continuing to sow good seeds, speaking life over your finances, and using every opportunity to learn and grow. It means not jumping ship or uprooting your seeds just because you don't see immediate results. Let me ask you, have you taken time to celebrate even the small victories? If you managed to pay a bill you were worried about, that's a victory. If you found a discount that saved you money, celebrate it. If you received an unexpected tip or a minor raise, be grateful. These are signposts that you are already in a flow of provision. Recognizing them can boost your faith for bigger breakthroughs. By celebrating the little things, you create a mindset that's constantly on the lookout for blessings, rather than fixated on what's missing. Chosen one, never underestimate the power of consistent gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, amplifying your inner state until it overflows into your outer reality. It's like tuning into a higher frequency where miracles become more visible. You start noticing the daily serendipities that others might dismiss. As you notice them, you nurture the seeds of joy, and joy is a magnet for good things. It's hard to remain stuck in lack when your spirit vibrates with authentic thankfulness. Also, don't be surprised if your miracle arrives in stages. Maybe you're expecting a lump sum, but instead you get a series of incremental increases. A better job offer, then a profitable side gig, then a timely tax return, and so on. Piece by piece, your financial picture improves. Over time, you look back and realize you're in a drastically better place, but it happened so organically you almost missed the miracle in motion. Stay conscious, stay aware, and give thanks at every stage. Some of you are about to receive a nudge that seems almost too coincidental. A phone call from a friend with a business idea, an online ad that sparks your creativity, or a random encounter with someone who has the exact resources you need. These are not coincidences. They are breadcrumbs. Follow them. If it resonates in your spirit, explore it. If it doesn't, let it go, but remain open to the possibility that your answered prayer could look nothing like what you initially envisioned. Chosen one, comment 777 to say, I'm open to new possibilities. Let it serve as a contract with yourself. a promise that you won't dismiss out-of-the-box solutions just because they're unfamiliar. Miracles rarely conform to your comfort zone. Often they stretch you to learn a new skill, adapt to a new environment, or broaden your mindset. Let me be transparent. Expecting a miracle doesn't exempt you from challenges. In fact, you might find that once you set your heart on abundance, unexpected bills or financial hiccups appear as if to test your resolve. This is normal. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're on the battlefield of faith, forging a testimony that will inspire others. Each time you keep believing in the face of adversity, you strengthen your spiritual muscles, readying yourself for the influx that's on the horizon. Another perspective, sometimes the biggest miracle, is a radical shift in how you perceive wealth. You might awaken one morning to find your anxiety around money lifted, replaced by a quiet confidence that all your needs are met. That inner transformation can then pave the way for external changes. Because your actions, choices, and energy flow from a place of assurance rather than desperation, people sense that calm assurance, and it makes them more likely to want to partner with you, invest in you, or support your endeavors. Chosen one, if you're longing for that kind of inner peace, know it's available. Surrender your worries, your fears, your timelines. Release them to the one who sees the bigger picture. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you trust that the ultimate outcome isn't solely dependent on your willpower. It's a partnership between your diligence and a higher grace. When you move from that posture, even your toughest days feel purposeful, because you sense you're being guided toward a destination that's already been ordained. Pay attention to your intuition. If you get that nudge in your gut telling you to apply for a particular position, pick up a certain skill, or contact a specific person, don't brush it off. Often those inner whispers are the divine's way of directing your steps. You might not have all the logic or evidence to back it up, but faith-based decisions can open doors you never knew existed. And if it turns out to be a dead end, guess what? You learn, you grow, and you're better equipped for the next step. There's no such thing as wasted effort when it's done in faith. Chosen one, if at any moment you feel your faith wavering, come back to messages like this. Let them recharge your hope. Sometimes we just need a reminder of who we are, how far we've come, and how close we might be to the finish line. Because often, when the battle feels fiercest, it's a sign we're right on the edge of breakthrough. Don't let the intensity scare you, let it excite you, because it means something is about to give way. One last piece of wisdom. Share your journey with someone trustworthy. Living in isolation can make the ups and downs feel magnified. A friend, mentor, or supportive community can provide encouragement, accountability, and fresh insight. They can help you see the progress you might overlook. They can celebrate your wins and steady you when you stumble. Miracles are sweeter when witnessed, and burdens are lighter when shared. Chosen one, I see a horizon filled with promise. I see you stepping into a financial reality that once felt like a dream. I see the relief on your face when debts are cleared, the joy in your eyes when you can give freely, the pride in your step when you realize you made it through. That vision is not fantasy, it's the probable future if you stay the course, keep the faith, and seize the opportunities that come your way. Align your actions with that vision and watch it manifest.